How's it going, guys? Mask here, and today we're hoping to farm Jaden Yuki at Jaden Yuki at level 40. And I mean, not big surprise. Paradox Brothers obviously been farming most things, except I gotta say we like mulled over perfecting this deck on a Labyrinth Builder build, trying to tweak every card here and there, make it work for me to give my actual stamp of approval and record it, and I couldn't get there. No matter what I did, it was just never good enough. I could not approve. I could not say like, this is it. This is the one I'm gonna use. Nope. And then after I was mulling it over with one of my mods, Flabber, and he goes, "Oh, why don't we just try Elements Unite?" Looking at Jaden's threats, you have one of the biggest ones is Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. Simply having the Gate Guardian counters it. Gate Guardian's attacks higher than Thunder Giant, so he can't use his effect. So running Gate Guardian with Elements Unite instead actually basically eliminates every threat in Jaden's deck except for the Elemental Hero Necroid Shaman. And in order to counter Shaman, we're running 3 copies of Ultimate Providence, copy of Divine Wrath. The whole deck's packed full of card draw, so you're going to get to those pretty quick. And at the same time, the Shaman isn't even Jaden's like #1 priority to summon because it's not his strongest monster, and the AI is still programmed to recognize, hey, this monster's got more attack than this one. If I have the option between the two, I'm certainly gonna farm. I labeled this deck wrong if I'm looking at it correctly. That's so funny. We'll fix that. And yeah, no, so basically Shaman doesn't get out. I have yet to have, this is my like 6th run on this deck. I've yet to have Shaman get out before like the midpoint of the game. And I mean, by then you had to have drawn so unluckily not to have 1 copy of either Divine Wrath or Ultimate Providence set up. But knowing my luck, this will be that. He'll be like turn 2 Shaman, and I'll be sitting there with my 3 Wonder Wands and a Shard of Greed going, okay. Basically, the only other thing in the deck you have to worry about is the unlikely scenario where he's going to pop your back row with the R Righteous Justice card and summon the Shaman in the same turn. So you weren't able to replace the defenses you have down on the board. You weren't able to replace the Ultimate Providence that gets popped by R Righteous Justice. So, but another way to deal with this, we're running a Magic Jammer, and of course, Ultimate Providence is a Magic Jammer in its own as well. Something to keep in mind, it's really, if you have the opportunity, you have the resources, counter his Skyscraper field spell. That's the only other threat we're going to have at any point to Gate Guardian, is if he uses if he has Skyscraper set up and he uses Heated Heart, he can get his monsters to be stronger than your Gate Guardian. Either his Thunder Giant or his Neos, they're both going to be capable of killing him. But another thing to keep in mind, and this is one that I learned through just playtesting alone, is he will suicide his Elemental Hero Darkbright into our Gate Guardian and then pop its effect and kill our Gate Guardian. So if you don't have, it's actually I advise you to keep your Gate Guardian in defense for the whole farm, especially if you don't have like an Ultimate Providence or Divine Wrath set. So here's the Darkbright. If this is a perfect example, he's right on time. I called his name, boom, here he is. If I didn't have this guy in defense, he would have suicided in, used his effect to kill me. Probably only if he has lethal, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the next thing he summons is going to give him lethal. That's actually great. We get to pop R on a Shard of Greed. We don't got to worry about it taking out one of our counter spells. Counter traps, I guess they're all traps. Important thing to note, you need to save 1 trap card in your hand to the very end of the game to counter the negate attack with. Actually, by 1 trap card, I mean you need to have an Ultimate Providence set on the field before your last turn and have 1 trap card in hand, counter negate attack. And we're running Pada Bene, so at any time, feel free to throw away any card you want. There's no threat at all. You can throw away to the graveyard anything at any time. I think right now, I'm probably just going to toss a Recruiter. I don't want to give away the Pada Bene yet. I was tempted to set the Pada Bene there. I mean, it wouldn't have had to do anything. Fine. Let's set the 2nd Providence. The 1 Providence will be acting as a Magic Jammer right now, and 1 is acting as a counter effect card if he does summon the Shaman, and it's rare. Like I get out of my 6 farms, only 2 of the farms he actually summoned Shaman, but we're prepared for it if it comes. So at this point, I'm actually just gonna throw away this other recruiter. Giving up a lot of card draw. I probably should have just tossed an endgame card there. Especially because we just drew a Wonder Wand. That's actually just awful. Just set a pot of Benny. It's one of the it's a great card to set because you know if you're gonna have to throw something away, there. Fine Wrath. I don't think we're gonna need that at this point. Hoping to draw into a recruiter here. There's no part of me that should have thrown them both away. Yeah, see, the duel would be over. I would have drawn through my whole deck, but for some reason I felt the need to throw away both my recruiters that are my draw power with Wonder Wands. Kratos. Destroy set spell or traps up to the number that your opponent has. I don't want to lose pot of Bene, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop him. On. Need to draw a recruiter right here, I think. Save this farm. Don't agree, that won't do it. It's actually you now. And at this point, we just have to the Shard of Greed. The Pot of Bene is going to put 1 card back in both our decks, and we should be able to get the Shard of Greed off then. Can deck out next turn. Ugh, we literally got none of our card draw off. He destroyed our first shard, which is fine. And then discarding the recruiters. Don't discard your recruiters. That threw this game for me. Actually, I'm totally fine. What am I saying? Even after discarding the recruiters, which I will argue that was an awful idea. Put one of his cards back. Put one of mine. And that should be it. There's one specific card that I got to put back. Where is he? Vassal. We draw next turn, and the Shard of Greed's about to bail us out. It's okay. I swear I actually know how to do this. I'm gonna miss those prismatic points. Probably should have kept that. I could have thrown Magic Gem. We could just use my prismatic Wonder Wand last turn anyway. Get to the end turn, and I mean this was an example of just how awful you could possibly draw this deck. I used none of the card draw. Vassal goes out. Make sure you special summon Calico Claw Crow. I have screwed myself before where I didn't actually special summon him. Vassal, we have 1 Ultimate Providence set on the field with just 1 trap card's all you do need, absolutely, in your hand. So we're ready to get by the negate attack. The Wonder Wand, because why not? If you are fooling around with the Wonder Wand, don't use it before your Secret Pass to the Treasures. Another mistake I've made multiple times. There comes out the negate attack. Your toggle's not on off. I've made that mistake too. Boom. Basically a extremely classic version of the Elements Unite super speed farm. Tweaked just enough to cover the bases with Jaden, but he didn't summon Shaman that round. If he did, we would have been fine because we had Ultimate Providence for the large majority of that duel. I'm hitting 8,500, but that is going to be with 700 in gloss, so it's a 7,800 base farm, but the large majority of it is just room for anything. So get your prismatics in, get your glossies in, you're good. I mean, you need 1 prismatic and you got the whole farm unlocked. Let's run through that one more time. That just that felt so sloppy. Jaden Yuki. Perfect timing. Let's go. Good drops. Like this is the first time I haven't gotten a super rare from farming these new duels. Although I won't argue. The old drop rates just so frustrating. I once farmed for like 5,000 keys straight without getting the one of the cards that I wanted, like Taya. Oh, farming Taya for Supremacy Berries. My Supremacy Berry farm was so painful. I guess we obviously have to go for gate. I keep putting him in attack mode, and I right after I explained to you guys, hey, if you put him in attack mode, you could lose the duel. One of these times I'm going to lose on turn 2 because of it. Watch. I guess it would be turn 3. It's only a threat if it's turn 3. Wouldn't suicide it on his own. Defense done. Shard agreed up. That's good. Maybe I'll pop an R. Hey, there it is. You had to flip this guy face up to get the effect off. Interesting. I was tempted to not run Shards of Greed because of this. We see it getting popped by the Righteous Justice. But at the same time, the fact that the Righteous Justice was used on just the Shard of Greed, meaning next time, or the second we get our hands on either Divine Wrath or an Ultimate Providence, we are 100% good to go, safe from the Shaman effect. That's worth it on its own. And if you're running 3 Shards of Greed, one of them gets negated, and you get the other 2 off, that's still 4 card draw. Compared to running 3 Jars of Greed, you get all 3 off. That's only 3. So I'm totally fine with that combo. Wonder Wand. We didn't discard all of our recruiters this time around, so we actually have the card draw to go. Now, explaining every way this farm can go wrong, because obviously it starts off guaranteed. You got Big Gun out. We got our Gate Guardian. So the only way Gate Guardian can die is from Shaman's effect. Shaman's effect or Dark Bright's effect. Sometimes it's super rare. He will kill Dark Bright with a Thunder Giant. Kill his own Dark Bright with Thunder Giant. Hasn't happened to me, but I've been told it happens. So obviously that'd be another scenario where you're going to negate the effect with Ultimate Providence. And then Shaman coming out, and then the Thunder Giant and Neos, when buffed by Skyscraper and the H-Heated Heart spell card, become big enough to kill your Gate Guardian. And if he's in defense, Neos can kill it with just the Skyscraper. So either way, best practice is just negate Skyscraper and you're golden. But as you can see, when I actually get my card draw off, and not even anywhere near the deck's full potential as far as card draw goes, just not discarding my recruiters, making my wands and my recruiters useless, the deck draws way faster than Jaden does. He could pop off 2, 4, 6. He could pop off like all 3 of his Destiny draws right now, and we'd still be fine. And I mean, worst case scenario, you could always Ultimate Providence one of the Destiny draws too. If you can tell, and you're at practice at the farm that I'm gonna lose because he's about to do this, go ahead and negate it. Secret Pass, I could. Okay, wait, 1, 2, and plenty of extra cards in my hand. Card 2, Magic Jammer, and we. But more importantly, we don't need this Wonder Wand. I probably should have tossed the Divine Wrath. It's better fodder. Oh, I had a Recruiter combo. You could argue that I should have just used it to draw. Okay, so we have Ultimate Providence set. We have a trap in hand. We only need 1 trap on our last turn, so we know we can discard the Divine Wrath here. Pada Bene, what's up? And it's the last turn already. We got Gate Guardian attack mode. Make sure you special summon your Crow. I would argue that it's better to summon your Vassal first, just because there's no way you're gonna misclick. I mean, when you're farming, I find you sometimes you farm 10 or 11 times in a row. You're getting a little tired by the end. You get drowsy and start making misclicks. So if you summon Vassal first, there's only 1 button. It's normal summon. But if you summon the Crow first and you hit normal summon, you've bricked. My Pada Bene is glossy, so I gotta get that off before I end the duel. On your own cards, or you'll lose your bonus points. Those back. And I mean, even if we were threatened, most, like 9 times out of 10, maybe even 9.5 times out of 10, you're not going to need to use your Pada Bene. It's there on a worst case scenario. We paint it for you. You're on turn 5. You got 4 cards in your hand and only 1 monster card. It's your Vassal. Ultimate Providence needs to be popped. So you discard Vassal to kill Shaman. It's fine. But that's why you got the Pada Bene. Worst case scenario. But normally, I mean, you could just use it as a Pot of Greed's worth of draw power. Putting 2 cards back into your opponent's deck. It's the same as pulling 2 out of your own. Held our trap back. Got the negate attack under wraps. And boom. I mean, a duel where you start off 100% safe and your opponent has to draw extremely luckily, and you have to basically brick and brick and brick. Otherwise, you win, and it's 8K, and it's easy, and you should basically have all of Jaden's cards by tomorrow, because it's just going to be that easy to farm. Elements Unite, a pretty straightforward deck. I mean, the recruiters are farmable, but if you don't have them, just kind of put other card draw in there. I mean, there's room. But the only thing about the recruiters that's nice is if you're taking them out, I would suggest replacing them directly with card draw monsters. Although there are 1 or 2 monsters that Jaden has that do piercing damage. It's kind of a toss-up, but it is important to get the monster to draw into monsters of any kind. I wouldn't run less than 5 monsters in this setup because you need a monster in hand to use Ultimate Providence. But as you guys have just seen, like I wasn't even able to show you an example. You know what? I'll run through it one more time. Hopefully we'll get an example where he actually plays Shaman, but the deck draws quick enough. And I think the presence of Gate Guardian on the field also, for some reason, is telling the AI, maybe I shouldn't summon my monsters that have less attack, even more so than usual. Like, I feel like when I was practicing and trying to tweak my Labyrinth Builder build earlier today, Shaman was getting summoned a lot more often. Catching us off guard. We didn't have our gate, our mention gate up yet. Defense. Got it. Earning. Tardigrade is actually great bait for that our Righteous Justice card. Magic Jammer. There's no point in setting it right now. Gonna use our Righteous Justice. You use it on just the shard, and we have nothing to discard for it anyhow. Same thing. I see no real reason to set. Oh, he set that. What? Whoa. That's weird. Set the field spell to get it out of his hand. Right, recruiter. Be a thing. You know what? I'm gonna put this Magic Jammer down. I know I probably should have put the Magic Jammer down the second I got it, so it was ready. That second turn, the first turn, there was a good point to argue. No need to have it down. It's just at risk. But since then, I should have it down. And if I have the opportunity to, if I'm presented the opportunity to negate this field spell, I will. That is one of the only threats at the end of the farm to our Gate Guardian. And when this deck draws right, it draws right. You can't even say we're like, oh, you're just leaving your end game to the end. That's why you're drawing so well. I already have 5 of my end game cards. Yet we're still just power drawing through the deck. 6, 5. We have 5 cards left. He's got 11. I have another recruiter combo ready for next turn. Just because I know that, I'm probably going to set this Wonder Wand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to discard anything, so I'll go ahead and set Pot of Bene. Mine Wrath. We'll go with recruiter. This should bring us down to 2. Yo, Dank88. Thanks for that offline follow, buddy. Hope to catch you when I go live next. Gotta love it. Let's see here. Got Pot of Bene, 2 cards left. We need Ultimate Providence set, actually. I almost forgot about that. There's Ultimate Providence set. We need that Divine Wrath in hand. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're discarding the Shard of Greed. No. Like, oh, it feels good. We're flying. Oh, wait, yeah. I think Ultimate Providence was the last 3 cards. That is nuts. My last 3 cards in the entire deck were Ultimate Providence. I probably could have lost because of that. No problem. Pot of Benevolence. Actually, I have to use this, but it's gonna stall me a turn because he only has 1 card to put back in his deck. I gotta put back 1 into mine and 1 into his. Now we can't lose this turn. I guess I technically could have Magic Jammered it. Interesting. I should have just done that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna have to discard the Ultimate Providence. Wait another turn. Watch shit just go real south here. Yeah, it's like that would be our luck today. Okay, so Caligo Clawcrow with a special summon. I know I was saying do Vassal first. Maybe I'll remember to do it. You should though. Right order to do things in. Off. No, don't turn that to off. You turn it to off, and that's when you start forgetting to put it back on. There goes your negate attack. Rip your farm. Put an attack out. Beautiful 3K combo. Okay, 10K combo right on the nose. Negate attack. No problem. Dual purpose cards in farms are just like, they're the key to the best farms you can possibly make. I managed to pull it off with Jaden with Ultimate Providence coming out for being, it's part of the end game technically, getting rid of negate attack, and it's part of the mid game, stalling us, protecting us from Shaman and the other monster effects that aren't going to go well. Similar to the Alexis farm that we put out yesterday, it's 7K, 8K gold. That is just insane. Could you imagine when they give us double gold events now? 14K gold from one chest. I was excited and made an announcement. I was like, guys, show me the biggest gold farm you've ever gotten. And people were showing me 14K gold farms on the double gold day. And it was like, that's so amazing. We're going to get that from one chest on the next double gold event. But anyhow, like I was ranting about Alexis. We managed to dual purpose massive morph coming in as both the buffer to get our Vassal over at 10K and preventing our opponent from attacking us directly while we had a Dimension Gate Labyrinth Wall. That was a great multi-purpose card. It just cuts down on your end game requirement and the mid game. It makes so much room. Card draw, which we've kind of needed because all these GX characters are just like, well, I don't like long duels. I got a place to be. They're like texting on their phone. Can we make this quick? You know what? I'm just gonna go like this. Sorry, hold on. I know it's not like it's. I'm just gonna draw 5 cards. Okay. All right. Let's keep. Come on. Let's go. Ugh. Anyhow, Jaden on lock, guys. Elements unite. Dump on it. Get it done. Get your cards, and continue to try to figure out how to beat the Cyber Angels like the rest of us. Or if you can't beat them, join them. I think my Alexis is almost at level 30. Almost there. Thanks for checking this out, though, guys. Come check out my Twitter and my Facebook. There's gonna be a link to both those down in the description, down below the video. That's how you're gonna know when I'm gonna go live on Twitch. We didn't record this one live, but we often do. You can get on the action, and that's the link. Obviously, the link down there too. Twitch.tv/MasKScarin. And the only other thing I'm gonna bug you about is our Discord channel. Come join our Discord channel. We have a blast there. We're always helping each other out, building decks, crafting them, building farm decks, giving each other advice on how they can build a deck with their limited card, if they have a limited card pool, and yeah, we're working on hosting things out of it soon too, which should be really fun. Besides that, guys, all I can say is stay classy.